till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders.
That's right. Welcome into Pregaming. We moving motherfucking boulders up in this piece. If you didn't know, now you know. You're here at Sports Money, and it's Pregaming at 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's 6 p.m. We won't stop. We can't stop. I don't give a shit what they say. We're just here to fire away. Get this set up right, you guys. We got a fun night ahead of us. We'll get to all the business, but first and foremost, I got to let you know we're going live at 7 p.m. Yeah, Tuesdays are my day with Sharpie to give you guys cape props, RBIs, and all the rest, but sometimes life gets in the way, and today we will fire away at 7 p.m. So you don't want to miss it. My man Ramon Scott's going to be live with us. We got Sharpie Bets coming in here, myself, and who knows who else is going to join us tonight, but we're going to feature a couple of games. You know the way we do it with Sharpie on Tuesdays. Kind of pop off for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, kind of get in, get out, get paid, and get ready for the rest of the week. So it's going to be a big week indeed. We have NFL preseason week 1 popping off here. Just a couple of days. Yes, 30 days away from the very first NFL game. That'll be the Eagles and the Cowboys. We're going to be live for that one too. Man, there's so much happening here. Get a pen and paper ready to write all this down. Hey, we got golf action out there. Wait till you check out this week's golf action if you haven't done it yet. This is probably the first week, maybe since we started doing it, that we were comparing notes after. Like, if you do it this way, you're going to pay this. If you do it that way, you're going to pay this. We got a 1,000 to 1 parlay, just about 1,000 to 1 parlay. Dude, it's so much fun. You guys got to check it out. Yeah. Look at the current situation. They're down to the the FedEx Championship. Excuse me. The St. Jude's Championship, the FedEx Cup, the playoffs are here. The field is only 70 players. There's only 70 out there. So we changed it up this week. We've got 6 groupings of players. There's 30 overall, 36 maybe in that bucket of players. We picked basically head-to-heads, the winner in those groupings. We talked about some first round or some outright leaders as well. Talked about some round robins. Haven't really talked much about the round robin game if you guys aren't familiar. You know, basically what happened is we gave out 6 players in groupings, right? They're all plus money. If you look at these guys and you round robin them, for anybody that's not familiar, what that does is the system, the computer, the bookie, whomever, is going to take those and they're going to put them in parlays of your choice. So if you chose our 6 players and you put them in 3-leg parlays, it's going to randomize them all, every combination possible. It's going to give you 20 combinations of players. Now you decide how much you want to play those parlays for. If you did it for $1, it's going to cost you $20 as you get the point. Now, we talked about round robins. We talked about golf matchups. Again, we talked about outright winners, some different ways to attack things live. Great golf video today. You don't want to miss it. They pop off on Thursday as usual, and the golf season's almost done. We talked about the guys that are fighting for the Ryder Cup. We talked about the guys that are fighting to get in the top 50 for next week. So you don't want to miss that action. We've got live action coming up here. Next week, Tuesday, starts the Dana White Contender Series, 1 week away. If you don't know what Dana White Contender Series is, it's a lot of fun. It's like, I don't call it minor leagues. It's like tryouts for the big show, for the UFC is what it is. They emphasize finishes. It's only 5 fights. It's in the middle of the week. It's a lot of fun. It maybe goes like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So we're going to have that going for you guys live. They'll go about 10 weeks or so of Dana White Contender Series. That series is getting ready to pop off. We're going to go live for Thursday Night Football. As you guys already know, this is the best place to catch that. And who knows what else is going to happen along the way. I know this First Strike will be out there tomorrow. So I'm fired up for that. We got ourselves, tried to bounce back off of last week. We swept the week before. We were 2-1 the week before that. We had a 1-2. So we owe it to come out firing and come up with some better plays as well. Man, where do I start? We got NASCAR in the fold now with MMA Jeff coming through. I think he's gotten 3 winners in a row, something stupid like that in NASCAR. So there's so much happening. And again, just getting started. The NFL, college football, man, we haven't even scratched the surface. You guys get ready. This is truly the Sports Money Network, and we've got things popping off all the time. If you missed the live debut last night, the VB MMA Ramon Scott Show gave you your first 3 fight breakdowns for the UFC Vegas 109 card this weekend. If you want to get a jump start and try to beat the lines, their guest, monster plays out there. He had like a 38-1, a 45-1. Man, couldn't ask for anything more than some big opportunities to get paid. And of course, VB and Ramon Scott lead the way. Now, the business of the business here. We got to be transparent. We have to record our wins and losses, and we start every show off doing just that. Yesterday was a good day. We went 6-2. 6-2. I don't know why the secret's not out. This might be the best damn sports betting show on YouTube. My goodness. Go down the list. Now, we did miss our first two. It sucks. The under 8.5 in Houston, Miami kind of made me think there was a chance until Houston put up a total of 8 runs by the 8th inning. The Pittsburgh San Francisco game was looking under 8.5 until the Pirates came back and won that game. Shout out to our guy Razor Sharp. That was his gambler's first glance. We lost the under 8.5. Man, that's the free play I gave out unwinnable for Pittsburgh. But that's where it stopped. From there, we plugged the gap. We stopped the bleeding. We cashed the Philadelphia Phillies and the Bryce Harper over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. That worked out to be a plus 133. We cashed Boston -1. In hindsight, we could have dropped the run line. -125, Boston -1 wins that game 8-5. We win the over. My goodness. I said, I can't believe I'm doing this. Can't believe I'm taking an over. And through 4 innings of that Cleveland and Mets game, I was cursing myself like, son of a bitch. This is what I get for taking these overs in the Mets games. Guess what happened? They exploded. Around that 5th, 6th inning, Cleveland ends up not only winning the game that we gave out as that extra play added at plus 168. A lot of Hitman and Hahn. Talked myself into it right here live on air with you guys. Hopefully I talked some of you into it. But the over 8 cashes ultimately with ease. Kind of like the same play again tonight. The Brewers. What are you going to say? They went down 1-0. If you got them live, if you believed in the Brewers as I did, you picked up a plus 156 live. They came back and won that game 3-1. We gave it out here minus 138. We cashed. And then we closed the night off. The old nightcap. The Arizona Diamondbacks, never in doubt at plus 110 against them. San Diego Padres, the Friars, the Fathers, whatever you want to call them, got busted up. 6-2 final. We cashed plus 110. That's what I'm talking about. It was a 4.86 unit evening on a 6-2 day. What do you say? That's how we do it. Can't wait to fire again today. We've got a big card ahead. You'll see it here on screen. And I already said we're going live. We're going to watch these games together. We got the San Francisco Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates. They will roll off tonight. Oakland Athletics, really the Nomad Athletics, the homeless Athletics, and the Washington Nationals popping off. We got a 2-leg parlay. Should pay out around plus 200. The Brewers and the Braves, if you don't want to listen to the rest of the show, I'll tell you right now, I'm taking the Brewers. Why not? What am I missing? And if I take the L, I take the L. But we're riding this hot streak. We got action in the Reds and the Cubs. That's around an 8 p.m. Central game. 8 p.m. Eastern in the Central time zone. We've got the Yankees and the Rangers. What a battle last night. Glad we stayed off it. Going to attack tonight. We got a 10-0 trend. We got a 17-2 trend. We got an 18-1 trend. All in play for the Yankees and the Rangers game tonight. Look at me. I'm all excited. My voice is cracking already. Tampa Bay and LA. I could have double dipped it. I kept it as a single. Just one play tonight. We'll close off with the Padres and the Diamondbacks. I know it's a pretty big WNBA card. I did shrink it down. I've got one. If you guys ask nicely, I'll give you this. I'll give you a second. We got a lot of plays tonight. A lot of action. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this card. Got myself all fired up too early to start this thing off, but you guys know the deal. And we got to be done early. We can't be done. It's got to be 6:55 tonight. We got to be done in 43 minutes so that we can get access to the live stream. I can cool my office down because shit is heating up in here. I'm telling you that right now. Before we get to work, though, you guys know the deal. The most important thing you can do to support this show. Lots of avenues to show some love to sports money. Maybe you're making a great bankroll and you say, hey, I'm going to show these guys a tip. How do I do that? Save your money. Go out to Winnable. Upgrade here. Become a silver or gold member. That way you're getting something out of it. We're giving you winners. But you can support us and continue to get more winners by 2 avenues. The Winnable Club the upgrade and become a silver or gold member. We put out weekday and weekend plays out there. Come football season, you know the deal. Silver gets plays during the week. Gold gets weekend plays. And leaving comments are always the most important thing you guys can do. But we're in show, and you know the deal. When we're in show, it's time to go over and smash that thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already, give it a click. Get back in here. Get your pens and paper out, and we'll fire away on this card tonight. I've been working on a new video. Going to debut a new video for you guys here tonight. Lots happening. I told you, man, we're not sleeping. We don't sleep. Money never sleeps. How are we going to sleep? The eyes might close for a few minutes, but the brain doesn't stop. Still thinking, charging, running through the stats, the trends, the opportunities that are in front of us. And I do appreciate all you guys being here with us doing that. I love building this community. Shout out to everybody. We got to 1,600 subscribers last night. That was a big milestone. That was a good recharge. That was a little kick in the ass to say, you better get going. And we're already going. So I didn't know where to go other than to say, come back here and say, thank you guys for all being a part of this journey. I'm excited for what's happening. We've got so much coming down the pike. There's going to be I know you guys love live shows, as do I. That's where we make the most of our money, is live betting. Albeit, name me one more profitable show in Major League Baseball this season than right here. 1 unit bets, flat bet the board, no chases, no real think I have an edge. Nope. Just 1 unit on everything. Whether you're a $10 bettor and you're up $1,120, you're a $100 bettor, you're up $11,120. You're a $1,000 bettor, you're up over $100,000. Firing away with what we do here on Sports, Money, and Pregaming. Can anybody else claim those numbers? I don't think so. And we didn't even look until like right before the All-Star break because everybody was celebrating their 40 units. In any event, it's time to move forward. We don't look past other than to recap, regroup, collect our thoughts, and make sure that we're making wise decisions going forward. That's how we do this on a regular basis. And it's time. Let's talk about the chat. Let's talk about the best damn chat in the business. Let's talk about the plays you guys are on. Want to fire off on a bunch of these games. 2 of them start within the next 30 minutes. We got to be out of here in like 40 minutes. So let's go. Vitalis is here. He said, mute it. Happy Tuesday. I said, you got me. I looked. I was like, oh shit, am I? Nope. I was recording golf about an hour ago with MMA Jeff. Nicholas Handy's here. Ken Woods in the house has had some excellent calls yesterday. They sure were. Man, those 2 unders. I'll tell you, I don't have Houston in here as a selected bet for you guys under, but you got to run it back. How can you not? It was Houston that exploded. I told you guys not to play Miami in the first 5. Not even. It's not about that. It's about moving forward. The Futon Bets likes Freeman home run. Red Sox Nerfy. Let's get this cash. I love that. Futon Bets. Really like the Freeman numbers. I started going on another show. Some of you guys may laugh about it, but I've made some friends. I got the invite on, and I enjoy it. I have a good time with it. Shout out to DJ Hardy. Says, hit the likey scumbags. Please do. Gerald Jones is coming through with his best bet tonight. The Red Sox minus run line minus 1.5. I was normally you spell it out 1.5, and I was trying to read run line. That's perfect. Run line minus 150. You got me, Gerald Jones. Shout out to Jimmy in the house. Our guy Peter Grassi is here. DJ Hardy. Chief Scumbag likes the WNBA. Plum over 18.5. Gabby Williams over 11.5. Let's go. Jimbo JPC says many tools in our NCAA football bag. Many tools, many friends going to get involved with us for football. Peter Gracia. This is awesome record. But you know, DraftKings listens. That they do. Andrew G's rocking with us here tonight. Jimmy, until famous first words, almost would have, could have, should have, flag on the play. Trevor Davis says, I made good on that over on that Houston and Marlins game. It was like plus money. Nice, dude. Well, you got it. I didn't. Hopefully you made good on the rest of the card. DJ Hardy. Bet 365 capped my boost at $2. Dude, I stopped using some books because it's just not worth those fucking boosts. Unless I make the parlay as long as my arm. You can limit. Now, I do believe, there's old school thinking and new school thinking too, right? And some of you guys are restricted by your geography to the number of books that you can have. But I remember some douche like 2 years ago when I was over there with our friends, and he was like, "You're still using DraftKings? I've been limited." Fuck you, poser. Get a bunch of books. Spread it out across the board. What are you doing putting it all in one fucking bag? You ever hear, right from a kid, they tell you how to gamble. Don't put all your eggs in the same basket. Now, some of you guys are geographically limited. You only have 1 or 2 baskets. So I'm not talking to you. But those of us that do have 8, 10 books, line them up, load them up. I got another offer. I haven't used the book yet. I was debating if there would be interest in watching me make the initial deposit to max out the free bet and then just make bets on it and watch it grow. I don't know. I got some ideas in my head. I got some good ideas. Let's go. Stop Geo says, lock the fuck in. Thanks for the Duck Race membership. My guy, Real G, move in silence. Hey, dude. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Dude, you're the man. Stop Geo. I appreciate you. You've been here rocking with us. Get the go, man. You earned it. You won the Duck Race. You get yourself 30 free days of the winnable membership. You guys don't miss out on these live bet shows. We give away all kinds of stuff. We're giving away memberships. We're giving away merchandise. We got all kinds of stuff popping. We got some sponsors in the works. We should have some more stuff popping. Tarek B says, White Sox, my dog of the day. Gerald Jones says, enjoying the Yankees road trip. Jay Main says, what's up with the Bucks line? Went down, now going up. Oldie says, you have to spread it. Game pack. Thank you, Peter says, Mikey Money's game capping moves DraftKings lines. Shout out to Andrew G. Shout out to Oldie. I have 1 book for all MLB. Yeah. I mean, you got to find some of those spots. Andrew G. He likes my comments. Let's go, you guys. I'm ready to go. It's a good time for us to get started with this thing. We've got, as I said, a couple games popping off right here. Appreciate all you guys joining, man. Love all you guys. Thank you for being here on our journey to 1,600. They said not to start in the summertime last year. I argued. I said, maybe it's because I'm an optimist. The best time to start is the summertime. What are you waiting for? No time like the present. It's another thing they taught you when you were younger. And there's less people out there doing what we do. So they get exposed for losing, and hopefully we get exposed for winning. I want to win on the San Francisco Giants-Pittsburgh Pirates game tonight. You guys know what we do and what we're all about here. We're trying to leverage trends, cash flow moves, Vegas book reporting and changes. We're trying to look at injuries. We're trying to look at weather conditions. You name it. We're trying to focus in on it and trying to get ourselves them dubs. Now we want to watch out for rain delays. Almost got stuck last night in that Brewers game. However, it was delayed. They did open up as a down. They were down that 1 run, as I mentioned, but they popped right back. They got up. And I wonder if that rain delay kept it to the under. Ramon Scott and I talked about that on Saturday. Another reason to watch these live betting shows, if it's not just for the live betting, we talk a lot of betting strategy and philosophy around the way that we've approached the game. I just think it's good insight. It's good stuff to know. Just take it away with you. And I mentioned being a sponge. You want to absorb it all, bring it all in. And at some point, maybe it's a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you'll be like, oh, I think I remember hearing about that. To your guys' point, this Giants line or the Padres line did drop. The Giants and Pirates line did roll down. It was plus 138 for the opener. It dropped to 120. It did come back to 123s. The San Francisco Giants opened up at minus 164, have dropped to minus 140. 71% of the bets. So the public is generally speaking on the Giants. They don't believe in the Pirates, especially after the Pirates win last night. Can they do it 2 in a row? 45% of the cash on the Giants. So there's sharper bettors, bigger bettors anyways, looking at the Pirates. Now that last second concern for me is, it's moved a little bit. 7.5s on the total have done nothing except shade to the down, 80 to the under, to the down, 87%. I got arrows, reds and green. You guys should see the dashboard that's flying over here. 87. Some of them arrow up. It depends on the number I'm trying to attack. 87% of the bets, 73% of the cash are on the over. The Giants are going to trot out to the bump. None other than Logan Webb. Mr. Webb, as we shall refer to him tonight, because I expect him to go out there and earn our respect. 3.31 ERA. Burrow's on the other side of things. Man, I'll tell you, You got away with Johan Oviedo yesterday. It was 4-1. It was 4-1 through those first 5. He was getting busted up. But that bullpen came back. We'll talk about another bullpen in a minute, but holy shit. Blew me away that the Pirates, I was hoping I'd go 1-1. I was hoping that because I knew that the Astros game was over, I was hoping to go 2-0. But let's be honest, because I knew that the Astros game was over, I was hoping in that 9th inning, 4-3, don't do it. And they did it. And I was disappointed. And the Pirates have now gone over 4 times in a row. Coming back from Coors. Maybe bad teams, it just doesn't matter. Maybe bad teams are just due to catch opportunities every so often. And we've got 4 in a row overs for the Pirates, 3 in a row overs for the Giants, but I can't not do it. I've told you before, I'm stubborn. I see this continuing to tick down, the down arrow. Now minus 120s, minus 122s as we get closer to, I was going to say puck drop. I'm ready for hockey. But I like this under. I got to get involved with this under in this game again. I told you, Houston and Miami, the under 8.5 in that game, I'd give you a strong look to that as well. I go right back to it. I mean, the trends are almost identical. I just picked one because I liked so much more of the card tonight that I'm going to give you guys one of these two. But I wouldn't fault you. I wouldn't be mad at you if you believe in my thought process and said, you know what, we're just going to go back to the under in this one. How about this game? Oakland Nationals. As I was researching this game, I found 2 stats that I couldn't believe. One of them we've talked about pretty much all season long, and we've cashed on it a whole bunch. We added a component. We added a layer. We've cashed even more. This line opened up at Athletics plus 128. I'm going to tell you this. 43% of the bets are on the Athletics, but 74% of the cash. It's gone from 128 to 115. Stop the presses. Hold the show. I don't like betting the A's as a favorite. But in dog range, I'll explain why they're part of this parlay. Then we've got a total at 8.5. Juice to the over. 86% of the bets, 84% of the cash. It's Severino for the A's. Concern. 4.83 ERA. And it's Gore for the Nationals with that 3.81 ERA. Now, you guys probably hear some of these shows throughout the day. I'm not going to give you all the boring. I mean, sometimes I do. Sometimes it's part of the cap with the whip and the extensions, and still not even sure how some, critical thinking process here. I know this though. Severino did come off a pretty good game. He went 5 innings. He pitches to contact. He's done that even back to his Yankees days. 1 run, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts. Not too bad. And this dude's actually been shoving. Upon further review, it's not the Severino of old. 5 innings, 2 earned runs at Cleveland. 7 innings, 2 earned runs at Houston. 5 innings, 1 earned run at Seattle. Which direction is that moving? Flip side, when you look at Mackenzie Gore, this dude can't buy a win, literally. He's caught 3 losses in a row, but he was an all-star game pitcher. So we're going to give him his accolades. Since he came back from the all-star game, he got thumped by San Diego. He got pulled after the third or into the 3rd inning. He gave up 8 hits, 8 earned runs. He lost in a 1-0 shutout. Maybe that was his bounce back at Minnesota, but Minnesota's one of those teams, right? They win and lose in bunches. Did have 6 Ks. We'll give him that. But then he came back against Houston and he just, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 homers, 4 homers in his last 3 games. He's walked 10 dudes in his last 3 games. So we got ducks on the pond, a guy that's showing command and control issues. And the question become, how far does he go? Or do you buy into that bounce back situation? I don't. And like I said, I parlayed this. Now you could just take Oakland, take a shot for it. But like I said, upon further review, we went to the replay. The replay showed us this. We know to fade the Nationals in the series openers. They're 8-2 on the fade in their last 10. That means 10 of the last series openers for the Nats, they lost 8 of them. Add a lefty. How about this? With the lefty series opener, you fade them lefties, Mackenzie Gore, not just him particularly, but lefties that they trot out there for their series opener. You're 41-14 if you fade those guys. Now, the interesting part to me came into the overs. How did I get to the over? Now, the over's at 8.5. So I juiced this down to 7 because I felt like this could be a 6-2 type of game, and Oakland thumps them. Second half of the season, the Nats like to go over. And I thought to myself, that makes a lot of sense. There's not the hustle and bustle of, are you getting traded or not? Your head's just focused on baseball and saying, please, dear baby Jesus, get me out of Washington next year. And you go out there and you just recognize you are where you are. Sometimes you just have to put your head down and go to work. They've cashed 7 times in a row. Late season overs after all-star breaks. And then the other one that surprised me the most is just how bad are those lefties in series openers? Home series openers off a loss are to the over 75 out of 100 times. 110 times. 75 and 35. Home series openers off a loss tend to go to the over. Teams don't play defense is my read on that spot. And that's how I got to Oakland and over 7. Again, I took it down from 8.5 to 7, a hefty jump, but it was still almost 2-1. What say you guys? I rapid fired some of those 640 games. So you guys got the info. You got some time to think about it. There's no thinking for me. I fired away. J Main. Cal Quantrill over 2.5 earned runs. He's a gas can plus money over 8. And Torkelson over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Lytle making his debut for the new squad over 17.5 outs. J-Main doesn't believe in you, Darvish. Pew Darvish. Huge garbage. Peter says, my dashboard looks like NASA. It might. Let's go. Jerry Davis says, I can't help think Burrows is fraudulent. J-Main says, hey, Mike, quick question. Was the Mets 199 this morning? We'll talk about that game. I added that game. I added a game. How about that? I added that game particularly. Says my eyes trying to play tricks on me. J-Man says, Nats gave up 33 runs their last 5 games. Nats A's first 5 over 4.5. Jerry Davis doesn't want to fade Gore. Thinks they're begging for A's money. It's coming down, though. It's not going up. They got too much A's money is what that told me. But we'll see. That's why ultimately I parlayed it. Like, if I'm going to take a shot with the A's, give me the big score. Give me the big whack on those guys. The big enchilada. There's baby Jesus. Anyone like the Athletics team total over 3.5? Yeah, why not? Peter Grass says, I'm tailing the A's over. In Mikey Money, we trust. Good stuff. Let's keep going. All right, I don't have the graphic for it, but you guys asked about this game, so I'll give it to you. This is the game we added yesterday, and the over popped for us. Now, the over moved up from 8 to 8.5 today. So I told you the same trend, essentially. Some of these games, especially when they get in series, the same trends are effectively still in play. And it's tough to say whether you want to go back to it, right? But road teams coming off a game that went over by 3 or more runs that had less than 1 run or fewer in the first 5. Kind of the teams finish the way they, or the teams start the way they finished. The game went over by 3 or more runs. They had 1 or fewer runs in the first 5 innings. Bullpen fell apart. Those are 34 and 13 to the over. That applies to this Cleveland Mets game. As I mentioned in the intro of the show, I was cursing myself. Why did you take the over in this game, you dummy? And you gave it to everybody. But the trend shows that they'll fire right back and hit that over again. For me, if you think about the numbers and the breakdown I gave you guys yesterday, what I say about the Cleveland offense, they're smacking. Now, let's take a step back and talk about validation. Validation says the Mets, what I talk about their thirds. Look at that last third of the Mets. They almost came back and beat Cleveland yesterday. They tied it, and then Cleveland came out there and thumped them, right? First third, okay. Middle third, not so much. Last third, okay. Why am I picking the first third in this game? Because it has a lot to do with 2 things. One, what we've seen going on right now from Clay Holmes is he's going the wrong direction. A 5.4 ERA his last 5 starts. 4.62 over his last 8 means as we zoom in, he's getting even worse. And on top of that, the Mets have been struggling against not just everybody, but They're not getting run support in general. Logan Allen, 4.06 ERA. Brings the lefty chemistry to the table. 3.52 ERA over the past 5 starts. He's getting better. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his last 9 starts. So I'm going to take a shot. The Mets lefties, since the All-Star break, are down to a 203. That's 27th in baseball. It's almost the bottom of the barrel. And there's the OBA, 27th in baseball. The OPS, 28th in baseball. They're not hitting lefties. Logan Allen's gotten quality starts in 4 of his last 6 outings. It's good enough for me to jump in there. I'm going to take this Cleveland first 5 plus a half in the event that it is tied. You can take a swing for the plus money, but I want this one today. I want this spot. It went from minus 105 this morning, so it's juicing in that direction. And I already gave you guys the Brewers. I'm going to move quickly here because, well, we got 20 minutes to pop off the rest of this show before we go live at 7 p.m. That's going to give me enough time to make a cocktail. But before we get to the 8 p.m. window and we fire off the rest of the games on the card, I think we're about halfway through. You guys know the deal with the thumbs up. Going to make a debut. Mikey Money Scorsese trying to make a debut. It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work. You get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait. Don't guess. Don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
There it is. There's my debut behind the production. Well, it's not my debut, but we all know the we all know the outro heard around the world, but it gives me a second to grab a drink of water. Do appreciate all of you guys supporting, doing the thing. Markel, what's up? Markel says, you don't mess with Jimmy the Bag. I was talking to Jimmy the Bag this weekend. Matter of fact, we were texting each other after a show today. But nah, we do our things. I'll go on sometimes, but every so often we'll do it. Silent Rob says, hell of a jingle. Hey, that voiceover, courtesy of our friend, the ring announcer for the LFA, gave us a little, they didn't give us a cameo, but he gave us the voiceover for that action. So there we go. Yeah, Markel, we just have different shows similar shows at different times. That's all. But we're here flourishing, trying to continue to get that bank, my friend. And I appreciate you being here, getting it with us. Let's go into this Cubs and Reds game. This one pops off at 8 p.m. We'll keep a brisk pace. Keep her moving. By the way, 81% of the bets, 91% of the cash on the Brewers. It's gone from minus 146 to minus 143. However, it's oscillating because it's gone from plus 124 to plus 125 on the Brave side of things. Totals come down a full run. I told you what I would do there. I would play the over. Doesn't mean it's going over. I just think that yesterday's game went under because of the rain delay. 8:05, the Windy City. Not because it's windy, because the politicians were gas bags back in is that the 1800s? I can't remember when I read that time frame stat. There's a little history for you guys. Minus 182 goes to minus 184 on the Cubbies. 84% of the bets, 89% of the cash on the Cubbies. The totals come down from 8 to 7.5, with 75% of the bets and 69% of the cash on the over. It's gone from 8 to 7.5. Here's the debutante, Zach Lytle. We faded this pile of gas his last start, and he cashed for us. 3.58 ERA. Shota Imanaga, 3.25 ERA. Shota coming out here trying to show him what Shota can do. I'm not going to mess with that. I know we got the wind in. I know we got a debutante in the pitching staff, and I know we got a potential ace on the bump with the other side. Maybe you can estimate where I'm going with this one, but ultimately for me, this is not a spot where you want to bet on runs, not just because of the wind. So the wind, a lot of people will just auto play it when they see 7.5s and 7s. For me, I need validation on the other side. That validation is the lack of run production from the Cincinnati Reds. 3-12 to the under their last 15 games. They're averaging 7.5 runs a game. They are winning those games on average, 4.2 to 3.4, with an average total around 8.7. I'm not going to get involved in the full game. What I found here is this Cubs first 5 under 4. Was 4.5, had got significant juice. It popped down to 4, and it's starting to catch juice there as well. So I thought the motivation factors here, the debutante and Lytle, starting out there for the Reds, Lytle, not sure, doesn't matter. And Imanaga, 8-4 for Shota. I think they shove early. With all due respect, as the game wears on, the bullpen for the Cubs should be able to shine through. I just don't know what I don't know what you expect out of the Cubs. I'm not laying $2 on these guys. They're not worth that market. I would probably take the Reds, but how do you do that with Lytle? Take the first 500. That game's on TBS too, so there's national television going on there. It's a big game for the Cubs. I'll tell you this, we're going to always look for the Cubs off a loss when they have an afternoon game to take the Cubs. So we'll keep our eyes on that tracker. But for tonight, I'm just going to take that first 5 under 4. And here's a game I think surprised a lot of people yesterday. The Texas Rangers will take Eovaldi out to the bump. Willie Warren on the other side of things for the Yankees. I'll tell you this, Willie Warren has been getting busted up. Now, he did have a good start his last start. Worth noting, it was against Tampa and it was at home. In fact, he had 2 pretty decent starts, both at home. Decent starts quantified by he didn't give up a lot of runs, right? He played the Phillies. They lost that game, but he went into the 6th inning. He only gave up 5 hits and 2 earned runs, 1 homer. Problem with the Yankees tonight is they say this is the Judge game coming back, which I like to fade that starter. You guys have heard me talk about that formula and that recipe a number of times. So we're going to look at the total, and we're going to take it to sky high, fly sky high, somewhere that makes sense. This number's coming way down on the Yankees. Is it overreaction to the potential Aaron Judge news? I haven't even seen if he's confirmed. I guess I should probably look here. Unless somebody else knows off the cuff. I will take a look and see. See if we still have projected or confirmed. The only thing this would do for me is confirm whether or not you're playing Texas. My decision is made on the side, and I'll talk to you about it in just a second. Yep, he's back. He's in the 3-hole, and he's got a lot of success against Eovaldi. Holy smokes, 40 at-bats, 14 hits, 2 home runs, 3 earned for a 350. That's team best. I'd fade him. You're going to bring the star player back. It disrupts the lineup. It disrupts the rotation. Look at this fucking massacre they have. Trent Grisham's in 1. Ben Rice is in 2. Remember, Ben Rice was towards the bottom of the order. They can't figure out the bottom of the order. Ryan McMahon and Volpe were floating between 6 and 7, 7 and 8. Now they're 8 and 9. This is a mess. This is why you don't play a team when the star player comes back. Dudes are probably pissed. If you're Volpe, you're like, dude, I've hit like 18 home runs in the last 14 days. Why am I hitting 9? Well, Volpe, it's because you're hitting an 0.71. You've seen 14 times against Eovaldi. You've hit him once. Would be my estimation. As we dig in and we look at the trends, though, I told you this morning's moving. 45% of the bets, 59% of the cash on the Yankees. So bigger bets are coming in on them. It's correlated. 74% of the bets, only 70% of the cash are on the over in this game. And, you know, the big trend that's out there right now that you've probably seen from everybody and their brother and their mother is the Eovaldi. What's he got, like a 14-game winning streak in this position? It's just not enough for me. Yesterday's game was an 8-5 total. They beat them, Yankees. Back and forth. Really, it was back and forth until the end, and then the Rangers just kept ripping. And everybody and their brother and their mother has been saying the Yankees are going to miss the playoffs. Take them at plus 600. Take them at plus 550. Take them at plus 500. I don't know about all that, and I don't want to figure it out tonight, but I do want to figure out some runs. AL overs have gone over 10 straight times after extra innings. That's a thing. The AL away dogs go over. 19-2 to the over. That's hit 12 times in a row as well. Despite the disruption that Aaron Judge might create to this offense, it's good enough for me to say, I'll take a shot with this dude to be able to generate some runs. I don't care who wins. Just get me over 8. I paid a little juice for it at minus 112, but this line's sitting at 8.5 in a lot of books. So I thought it was worth it. I still think it's fine to go over. Skunt Blaster. The scumbag play of the day is in. says Orioles, money line, plus 120. Markel's asking for a couple of homers if I have any. I do like Freddie Freeman. That other show that I mentioned. I gave out Freddie Freeman for an RBI today. I would probably look to Fernando Tatis or Xander Bogaerts. Nah, you know what? Oh, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. Jackson Merrill's got 9 at-bats, 4 hits, and 2 home runs against Ryan Nelson. Ryan Nelson's got an 11-0 winning streak going in his favor right now. There's a couple. Tune in tonight. We'll talk about them live tonight at 7 p.m. Jerry Davis leans the Rangers. Tarek B says, what's your look on the Phillies game? The total went from 4.5 to 5.5, Tarek B. I like that over 4.5. I like the Phillies to bust them up, but that number's a little soft. Jerry Davis asking my wings plus 10 worth of stab. Sure. There's Gorky. Yeah, I got 11s earlier, but that number started coming back down, so I don't want to play the chase the steam game with that Nationals game. But I gave you the trends for this game. I gave you the numbers for this game. Let's roll on. Keep her quick. I think I try to, like I said, you guys know my magic number is 9 or 10. So if you're trying to figure out how to play the action I have and you're just kind of coming in here for the first time, think about what your bankroll would be per game, how much you would budget per game, then divide that by 9 or 10. Or I shouldn't say think about it per game. Think about how many plays you normally play. Do you play 2 or 3? Are you $100 better? That means you're spending like $300 a slate. You might have to back that down to like 30, 40, 50. So you can get in on these streaks because we're grinders. We turned up 5 units yesterday. $100 better made $500. $50 better made $250. And you guys know I believe in casting the wider net. It's funny. I saw a video on Twitter where the dude's over there in Indonesia and he takes that big net off the rocks and it just spreads out to the half of the length of a football field. So, but if you're just starting off gambling, you got to know your numbers. You got to track your business. You have to know that you're hitting at 60% or better, or you could lose a lot of money in a considerable fashion. The Toronto Blue Jays thumped the Rockies yesterday. Man, they thumped them good, and it went over. That was a bad call. I told you guys if I was going to take 2 dogs, I'd take the Rockies and the Guardians. The Guardians won, so you got almost 77/10 of a unit. But this Angels game has some intrigue to me here. Plus 102s moved to plus 115 on the Tampa Bay Rays side of things. 44% of the bets, 61% of the cash are on the Rays. And it's dropping, or it's moving up. I'm sorry. It's moving up. It's moving against the Rays with all that money coming in on them. The 8s have moved to 8.5s with 80% of the bets and 77% of the cash. The big thing for this game is it's Soriano and Pepio. And they're both kind of like dead nuts, right? Like Soriano's 3.65 ERA. Pepio's got a 3.8 ERA. Soriano's got a 7-8 record. Pepio's got a 6-9 record. Knowing that this stadium likes to go over, the first thing that should have caught your attention is why is this at an 8.5, not a 9? Digging in, it's Soriano's been pitching better lately. 2.75 ERA over his last 6 starts. 3.12 over 10. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 8 of his last 10 starts. So you got Soriano in a buy position. Then you look on the other side, and Tampa Bay's offense can't hit righties for a lick. They're 27th in baseball OBA against righties. They're 28th OPS. They're 27th in WRC plus. Remember we talked WRC plus about a week ago? That Mendoza line's 100, middle of the pack, like an average team's 100. These guys are ranked 70, or they've got 76. That gives them a 27th overall. So we're looking at these shit baseball teams, and they can't hit. Pepio just shit the bed. Nuts, puked up. 7 runs, but that was against the Yankees. Prior to that, his ERA was 2.96, and that's over a 12-game sample with 13 of 19 quality starts. Good to bounce back. He's been pretty good. He's allowed 2 or fewer runs in his own right, 8 of his last 13 starts. And talk about why now with the Angels and what's going on. Their batting average is 28th in baseball. They're striking out at almost 28%. That's 29th in baseball, and that's against righties in the past week. So collectively, we can expect a slow start. Under 4.5 for the first 5, under 4. It's not mad at that. I wanted the full game, though, because bad bats, I want them to stay bad. And I don't think that the bullpen coming in downgrades by any stretch. In fact, the Tampa bullpen right now, they're third best in Major League Baseball with a 2.72 FIP. So really the gamble here is Soriano going the distance for us, making it happen, trying to get it done. And if you can, I'm going to take this under 8. I prefer you to get 8.5. Kind of thought with the volume of the card tonight, like, fuck, what's going to happen? This game goes there. Let's go on. Let's roll in. One game left in baseball, one WNBA play. We're going to get this thing done here in the next couple of minutes, and we'll put a bow on the show. I'll get myself refreshed, recharged, and ready to regroup with the fellas for this live stream. San Diego Padres, the Arizona Diamondbacks will take us in for the night in baseball. We look at this game we saw yesterday. Arizona. Sharps were on them. We got them. Line came down. We won. 54% of the bets, 61% of the cash are on the Padres tonight. Line still come down. It was minus 142. It's now minus 130. 89% of the bets, 90% of the cash are on the over 9. But it's showing juice to the under. I almost think when I saw this and I saw that juice to the under, I almost think they were trying to head fake you. I think the books think there's going to be runs in this game tonight. I can't factually establish that until we're done with this game, but it's a key number at 9. It's juicing to the under, and it hasn't moved to the 8.5. With I don't know. Don't hold me to it here because we do have huge garbage with a 6.47 ERA and Brian Nelson with a 3.2 ERA. Why is a team that just lost yesterday the favorite in this game? That's not rhetorical. I don't know the answer. Oakland Athletics up 3-0, says Fernando Mendoza. Let's go. Fucking go. That's the way we want to get it rolling, my guy. Cheeks, as my friend says. Look, I'm following the Sharps into this thing. There's a reason they made these guys a favorite, and I don't care. I'm going to take the Padres here. Remember what I said yesterday? The number one Sharp report came through, and I shouldn't say the number one Sharp report. Doesn't even make sense. The Sharp report for second half betting after the trade deadline came through, they picked the National League favorites as the San Diego Padres, meaning more money was coming in on the Padres than any other team in the National League, including the Phillies, including your boys Mets, including, I don't know, whoever else you want to look at. Redbeard's Mets. Of course, Redbeard Gore is a piece of shit. We talked about it. The lefties in the starting position. Let's not jinx ourselves, though. Let's get that thing all the way through. So that being said, I don't want to get in the tail business of Ryan Nelson. First of all, I don't like a guy that spells his name like that. Not to pick on him. It's not his choice. I'm sure his parents gave it to him. But he has been playing admirably. This is where I said it. If you look at this guy as a starting pitcher, here's what he's given up in his last 5 games for runs. 1, 4 at the Angels, Hitter Ballpark. 1, 0, 1. And now he's coming back home. It's a little terrifying for a 2.09 ERA. Not the biggest fan favorite of that position. But we look at huge garbage on the other side. This guy stinks too. 11.88 ERA on the road. He is coming off of a big win. It was a Mets win. It was at home. Almost feels like he worked on it, stabilized it. He went 7 innings deep. 2 hits, 0 earned runs for this guy. 7 strikeouts his last start. I think he's moving in the right direction. I'm good enough to take Ramon Scott's Padres. I see Ramon Scott in there. We're going to put the bow on this thing here with the last game of the deck for me tonight. Look, you guys know I've been auto betting it. I even said this on Saturday. I've been truly auto betting the team total under and the sky under full games without my girl Angel Reese in there. Problem I have because they just fired their coach. So now we got the coach after the fired team after the fired coach strategy. I don't want to get there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you two plays. The first one I'm going to give you here, I'm going to add one. I told you I was going to do this. First one I'm going to give you is the Lynx plus 2.5. Now you're going to say their star player's out. Well, what do we know about the star player theory? The first game the star player's out, we're okay to play him. Somebody steps up. At some point, the lack of depth and the resources play a part. And what we know about these gals, especially this Minnesota Lynx team, two things. One, the team they're playing got busted up by a mediocre team at home already, the Seattle Storm. They lost outright as 10-point favorites. You can't tell me the best team in basketball can't come out here and smack them. Last year, when the Lynx were in a dog position, they were 10-4 outright. They were 11-3 against the spread. The Minnesota Lynx are the spot I'm going to take tonight. Now, just to be fair, in those games with their dog positions last year, the average line was plus 4.5, and they were winning by around 9 on the spread. So this is a little lower with the 2.5, but there still should be plenty of meat on that bone to carve out that W. I'll give you this other one too. What the fuck? We're here. I'm going to play it tonight anyways. Might as well give it to you guys. I'm going to go to the Sparks, and I'm going to take them in the first half Sparks. The Fever have been on fire. That's why I'm taking them in the first half. But the Sparks ain't been, well, I guess I can't say that. They just came off a double overtime win against who? At their own barn? The Seattle Storm. We still know there's no Caitlin Clark in this team. I still think the carriage turns into the carriage turns into the pumpkin. That's what I'm trying to say out there for this Indiana Fever team. And they've shown they start slow without Caitlin Clark, and they just outcoach them and outmaneuver them by that second half. So I think the Sparks can come out here in the first. Now it's moved. I'm not sure entirely why it's moved, but it was like 1.5 last night. I waited last night because I was thinking, like, let's see what happens. And it was like a pick 'em on the money line last night. So now we're factoring in the +1, and the line moved to 2.5 for the Sparks. They're 3-9 at home. So look, the Sparks aren't a great team, but they got themselves a nice little momentum factor going in here. And I think it's good enough. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4. They go 6 of their last 7 games. Most of them were on the road. Now you take a Fever team. I got a Fever. I need more cowbell. That's not going to do it. And the Fever, they're making their 3rd straight road start out there. It's good enough for me. We'll take the first half +1, cap off the show here with none other than the LA Sparks. And that's going to do it. We're going to put the bow on this. I'm going to go freshen up, get things ready to go, and we'll be back live with my men, Ramon Scott and Sharpie Betts. That didn't sound good. My fellas, my boys, my homies. Thank you guys for watching. Smash that thumbs up on the way out if you haven't done so. And tune in just a few minutes. Live stream. Let's get her done. Good luck, everybody. Have a great time tonight. Good luck with your action. Make sure you like and retweet the video. Leave a comment afterwards. And check my man Ramon Scott out tomorrow, 9 a.m.